The human named Aaron stood at the edge of the shining hall, unsure if he should even breathe. He had been brought to the royal chamber of the Lunari Empire after a rescue mission went wrong. He expected anger or punishment, yet the only thing facing him now was silence. The tall guards with silver armor watched him with unreadable eyes. Their spears glowed faintly, ready to strike if he made a wrong move. The hall was filled with floating lanterns that drifted like soft planets, casting gentle light across the towering pillars and white stone floors. Everything felt too bright for someone like Aaron, who had spent his life repairing old, human ships. At the far end of the chamber sat the one he had defended with his own body. The young Lunari princess Lyra stared at him with wide violet eyes. Her pale green skin shimmered softly, giving her a delicate glow. She looked unharmed now, but Aaron remembered how she had trembled when danger struck. He remembered jumping forward without thinking, shielding her when the rebel blast tore through the air. He still felt the sting of the impact deep in his bones. He had protected her with nothing but his body, standing between her and the explosion until the guards reached them. He had expected that to be the end of him, but he had survived. Now he stood in a room filled with beings far more powerful than him. Above the princess sat the queen. Her presence filled the chamber like a storm held in calm shape. She was taller than any human Aaron had ever met, with markings of deep blue running across her arms and shoulders. Her voice carried a quiet strength, heavy with authority. She looked at Aaron as if weighing his soul. Aaron felt a shiver run through him. He had survived battles before, but nothing made him more uneasy than her steady gaze. The queen finally spoke. Her voice rang through the chamber like a steady drum. She asked Aaron why he had risked himself for someone who did not belong to his kind. Aaron hesitated. He was never good with fancy words. He simply said he moved because someone was in danger. He said he did not have time to think about titles or species. To him, there had only been a person about to be harmed. The queen stared at him for a long moment. Aaron wondered if he had said the wrong thing. The hall remained quiet, and the guards did not move. The princess lowered her head slightly, her hands gripping the edge of her seat. Then the queen rose from her throne. Her steps were slow, but heavy with meaning. She approached Aaron with a gaze that felt like both judgment and curiosity. Aaron kept his eyes low, unsure what rule he was about to break. The queen stopped in front of him. She said that in Lunari tradition, anyone who throws their body between a royal and death commits an act beyond duty. She said it is an oath made with blood and life. Aaron felt his breath stop. He had no idea such a rule existed. He had acted on instinct, not tradition. The queen added that such a person becomes treasured by the royal house. She declared that Aaron's action placed him under her personal claim. Aaron did not understand what that meant at first. The hall murmured with surprise. The princess covered her mouth, shocked. The queen told Aaron that from this moment he was hers to protect, hers to honor, and hers to command. Aaron raised his head in confusion. He asked if she was giving a reward or a punishment. Warm echoes of amusement rippled around the hall. The queen did not smile, but her eyes softened slightly. She said it was neither. She said it was recognition. She said Aaron had shown bravery that deserved more than simple thanks. Aaron did not know how to respond. He had never been claimed by anyone in his life. He grew up on crowded stations where people barely cared about each other. To be claimed by a queen felt unreal. Yet the weight of her words pressed on him with strange force. He wondered what came next. The queen motioned for him to follow her. The guards parted, and the princess rose to join them. Aaron walked behind them through long glowing corridors that twisted like living structures. The Lunari architecture felt like walking inside a giant sculpture shaped by flowing water. The walls glimmered with symbols that pulsed like a heartbeat. The princess walked beside Aaron shyly. She glanced at him now and then. She seemed uncertain whether she should speak. When she finally managed to whisper a thank you, her voice shook slightly. Aaron replied that he only did what anyone should do. She told him that was not true. She said no guard had reached her fast enough. She said no one had acted with the speed or courage he showed. Aaron shrugged, unsure how to respond to such praise. When they reached the queen's private chamber, she dismissed the guards. Only the 3 of them remained. Aaron felt the air shift as the door closed behind them. The queen turned and faced him again. She declared that he would stay in the palace under her protection. She said he would be given a place of honor. She also said he would receive training to understand Lunari customs, so he would know the weight of the bond he had formed. Aaron felt overwhelmed. He tried to argue that he was only a mechanic. He said he did not belong in a palace. The queen raised her hand gently and said that belonging is not chosen by rank. She said it is shaped by action. Aaron felt quiet then. The princess stepped forward and asked she could help with his training. Her voice was calm but hopeful. The queen looked at her daughter for a long, thoughtful moment. She then agreed. She told the princess that since Aaron defended her, she may guide him. The princess brightened with relief. Aaron still felt uncertain. He wondered if he had stepped into a world he could not understand. Yet he nodded. The days that followed were unlike anything Aaron had imagined. The palace became a place of constant learning. The Lunari moved with a gentle order, carrying tasks with quiet discipline. Aaron studied their language, their gestures, their customs. The princess stayed close to him, guiding him with patient explanations. She spoke softly and listened carefully when he made mistakes. Aaron found her presence calming. She showed him how Lunari honor is measured through actions, not words. She also taught him the meaning of the queen's claim. It meant he was part of the palace family. It meant his safety mattered to the queen herself. Aaron found that idea strange but comforting. One morning, during training in the palace garden, the princess noticed the scar left by the blast that had struck Aaron. She touched her own arm gently, as if feeling his pain through her memory. She told him she still remembered the moment he stepped in front of her. She said the sound of the explosion had frozen her blood. She said she had never seen anyone move like he did. Aaron shook his head and said he simply reacted. She disagreed. She said courage is not an accident. She said courage is a choice made faster than thought. Aaron felt his chest tighten slightly at her words. No one had spoken to him like that before. One evening, the queen summoned him. She told him that the rebels who attacked the princess had been captured. They demanded to know why a human had been allowed near the royal family. They also claimed that Aaron's act made him a symbol among them. Aaron did not understand. The queen explained that some rebels believed humans would rise in the empire if the queen continued to show trust in them. Aaron found that strange. He told her he had no desire to lead anything. The queen said that symbols rarely choose themselves. Aaron felt uneasy. He realized that his simple act had created ripples larger than he ever imagined. The queen then told him something unexpected. She said she wanted him to stand beside her during the next council meeting. She said the empire should see the one who saved the princess. Aaron felt panic rise in him. He insisted he was not suited for such attention. The queen stepped closer and said he had already shown he can stand in front of danger. She said standing in front of people would be easier. Aaron did not believe that, but could not refuse her request. The day of the council meeting arrived. The chamber was filled with leaders from across the empire. Aaron stood beside the queen, trying to keep his breathing steady. He felt small compared to the towering Lunari around him. Yet when the queen spoke, her voice carried strength that steadied him. She declared that Aaron was a symbol of unity. She said he showed that courage has no boundary between species. She also said she claimed him not as a possession, but as a recognition of his bravery. Aaron felt her words wash over him. He looked at the crowd and saw their eyes soften slightly. For the first time, he did not feel like an outsider. After the meeting, the princess approached him with a shy smile. She told him he did well. Aaron laughed softly and said he almost fainted. She laughed too, her eyes bright with warmth. The queen watched them from a distance. She approached and placed her hand on Aaron's shoulder. She said he had become part of the palace in a way no one predicted. She added that she claimed him not as a prize to display, but as a life that deserved honor and protection. Aaron's throat tightened. He thanked her with quiet sincerity. As weeks passed, the palace became a second home. Aaron trained with the guards and learned their ways. He worked in the repair bay, where Lunari engineers came to respect his skills. The princess often sat nearby, asking questions about human tools. She brought him Lunari meals to make sure he ate well. Aaron felt something grow between them, something gentle and steady. He did not understand it fully, but welcomed it. The queen noticed their growing closeness. She did not discourage it. She only ensured Aaron understood the responsibility of the bond. One night, as the sky above the palace glowed with drifting lights, the queen called Aaron to the bee.